I wanted to give my kids an authentic 90s video shop experience, so I turned the schoolroom into a DVD shop. By perfect coincidence, I had this box laying around. My son bought himself some shelves to store all his motorbike helmets and stuff on, and it came flat packed from Bunnings. And I've I figured this box looks like it could actually be perfect for what I want to do. It's not too deep, it's not too wide. And it should actually be really easy to turn into shelves. So using a heavy duty X-Acto knife, I got busy cutting into it, um, opening up sections on three sides, which I then folded back down into the box. And I did three of those to put DVDs in. I was just guessing the size, to be perfectly honest. I had DVDs to use for this project, but they were still in storage at this point, and yeah, winging it is my number one craft technique. But it seemed to work pretty good. I had had this plan for quite some time. My biggest holdup was actually that uh, the I needed hot glue sticks, which I kept forgetting to get every time I went to town. And then we went to Spotlight and I was able to grab a large packet of like 100 so I could get stuck in and hot glue everything in place. And so yeah, it was just the first shelf was a little bit fiddly, making sure I cut the same distance down the first side. And then it was a matter of working out how to make the shelf actually fold back inside to it. I ended up doing it kind of on a bit of a slope, which actually worked out better than my original plan of just making it as a plain shelf. So I might put it on fast forward and let's get this box turned into shelves for my DVD shop. And then once they were all cut, I had to go grab my hot glue gun, and apparently I dropped the knife a little bit too loud, and somebody was less than impressed that I was disturbing their nap. I would try and be quieter for the next stage because she scares me a little bit, not gonna lie. Of course, my glue gun did not want to work to start with, so it was a bit of a process, but in the end, we got it all hot glued in together. then it was time to make all my signage and branding and stuff like that. The very first thing I knew I wanted to do was a Be Kind Rewind sign, so I just literally Googled that, did some scrolling, and found this super cute graphic. Then I also, from there, dropped it into Canva just so I could use the colors of it to use my own fonts and stuff then to design up the rest of my branding. So in Canva, I just created a new document, and I had a few different things I wanted to make. I needed to make a price list sign. I needed to make some snack bar signs. I needed to make the labels for my actual videos so that I could put all the different sections in. And so I was just using the same color of that graphic that I found, but the fonts I just kind of worked with something that looked close enough. So I kept it fairly simple. I just called it Barefoot Video. I made a price for new releases, for weeklies, and for a deal. And then while I was grocery shopping, I also did get some video shop favorites. So I picked up a packet of Minties, a classic party mix, and some Lolly Gobble Bliss Bombs, absolute staples of the 90s video shop experience. And so I also needed to make some snack bar pricing as well. So while I was going, I did all of that so I could print everything all in one hit. The final thing I had to do was create a return sign. I found a box that would be perfect as a return box, got the snack bar pricing done, got my category labels made, and sent everything off to the printer. And then it was time to get everything all set up to turn the schoolroom into my video shop. This was kind of the first time that any of the kids realized that I was up to something. I'd been very vague about why I was borrowing DVDs from the library, why I was getting DVDs out of the container, why I was making some shelves, all this kind of stuff. I was really, really vague because I wanted to leave it as a surprise. And at this point, I couldn't keep it much of a surprise much longer. There was only my youngest at home, but he was very intrigued watching me and very excited when he realized what was going on and raced off to save up, to count up all his coin and his pocket money to rent some DVDs and buy some lollies. I did, however, give them Monopoly money with very strict 90s style instructions that they had to pick together and they were allowed to get a treat. Um, And yeah, the little rotters scammed me in epic 90s style and came back with 2 treats and refused to pay the overdue fees. So let's get this all set up. and it was just so fun. I got obviously my return box there, but I have a real mix. I've got family videos, sci-fi, some are from our collection, some are from the library, and yeah, total hit. Thanks for joining me today. I'll be back tomorrow with another video.